The penultimate day of the Santos Tour Down Under Stage 5, leaving at the little beachside resort of Glenelg and heading for Strathalbyn, 149.5 kilometres. 132 riders still remaining in this race as they started it on the Southern Expressway.
Well, the man to jump away was Jason Lee, the leader of the Subaru King of the Mountains competition, with his teammate Aidan Tuvey, and pretty quickly they were joined on the climb by the Frenchman Chevrier.
Yes, and they worked very well to quickly gain over 3 minutes, but then the peloton started to chase and Tuvey fell back towards the big pack that was speeding up the Southern Expressway towards the climb of Selix Hill. It was here though when number 184 Jason Lee was looking to try and increase his lead in the Subaru King of the Mountains. There was no resistance from the pacemaking Frenchman and Lee was free to get 10 more points and make victory a possibility on the final stage tomorrow.
Well, a big merci beaucoup from Jason Lee to Chevrier because he helped him stay off the front just long enough to take maximum points. Immediately they were swallowed up by the peloton, led by Mitchelton Scott for Daryl Impey. He was after the bonus seconds, and in the sprint, he went early and long, holding off Philipsen on the right, and coming back at him was race leader Patrick Belvin. Too little, too late. Daryl Impey clawed back 1 second in the overall classification.
So his overall lead in this race now by Belvin was just 6 seconds over Impey. And just about 30 kilometres down the road, they were at it again. This time, the sprint was in the Inman Valley. And again, the same actors were taking part. But this time, the result was reversed. And the ochre jersey of the race leader got his second back. He won ahead of Impey.
Taking advantage of the lull in proceedings with Mathieu. Once already this morning was Aidan Tuvey, and he's back at it again. He joined the Frenchman off the front of the race as they approached Victor Harbour.
But the wind was blowing in off the Southern Ocean here. The peloton were now pacemaking, thinking only of the finish. They weren't allowing two riders to spoil for them a perfect day. Aidan Tuvey out in front along with Le Dagnon, but at 35 kilometres out from the finish, the peloton had caught up. They were all together.
Well, the speeds were always going to be high on the run into Strathalbyn. Long, straight roads, 50 kilometres an hour, and a touch of wheels at the wrong time, and there was a massive fall in the middle of the peloton, and the man it took out is down there in the ochre jersey, Patrick Belvin, right in the middle of the crash, and he is not well.
His right knee and his right elbow had taken quite a knock. There's the crash again on the left of the road as we look, but in the centre of the road in the orange leader's jersey, just 9 kilometres out from the finishing line, the race leader was in desperate trouble. A new bike, his teammates waiting to see if he's okay to continue. He said yes, he got back on and he started to ride back up the road, but clearly in pain.
Well, the blood was streaming out of those injuries to his elbow, to his knee, his jersey completely ripped through the back, and Patrick Belvin was desperately getting back to the peloton. His teammates dropped back, moved him into the heart of the bunch as the peloton made its turn for the final run to the finish line.
This was a real sprinter's delight here as they started to cross roads, but look at the bumping there between Jesper Philipsen and Caleb Ewan. Ewan's on the left-hand side, moving to the front there, as Philipsen fell back a little bit. Ewan, in fact, was taking the wheel of Peter Sagan, while the pace was being set by Sabatini, leading the Italian champion Viviani towards the line. Ewan, though, was now out of the melee and going for the line. Nobody was going to get by him on this day as Philipsen tried to come at him again, right on the barriers. Ewan pushed his bike over the line, and at that point, Robbie, it looked like a perfect, clean sprint.
The sprint did look clean enough, but the commissaires went back and looked at the incident at 500 metres to go, and they found enough evidence to actually disqualify Caleb Ewan from the stage result and relegate him to last position. Jasper Philipsen, the 20-year-old from UAE Team Emirates, gets his first World Tour win. The man second across the line is first.
Yeah, it's always stressful, like a sprint finish. But yeah, it feels a bit strange to be actually second and then that Caleb won. So for sure, I want to congratulate him with this fantastic sprint. But yeah, it was a decision of the jury, so I have to respect it. And yeah, for sure, I'm happy that I can take the win. And But yeah, it feels also a bit double.
So, saluting the crowd here, Jesper Philipsen gets his first ever World Tour win under controversial circumstances. The ochre jersey, well, he was on his way to hospital straight from the finishing line. Let's hope he can start tomorrow.